One of the things that I hear over and over and over is that the drummer track in Logic is one of those just mediocre drum options, and that you can get much better sounds with third-party solutions. Well, today I want to teach you 5 different things to really help you maximize your use of the drummer track. I think that because of the way that it ties in with the other session players and the chord track, and some of the other Apple intelligence going on, that it still makes the most sense to use this, but you may have to really put your own stamp on it to get it to sound like what you want it to sound like. It's possible. These are amazingly recorded, and I think that they have everything that you could possibly need. It just may need a little bit of your own customization. So first of the 5 things, we're going to go onto the track itself, and I'm going to load up the instrument that's a part of it. Let's pull that up. And here we have the drums. This is just the default SoCal kit. I've actually customized some of the drum patterns up to this point, but this is the default kit. And so I want to actually go through, make it our own for this, and then save it so that you can pull it up with any of the projects you're working on and not just have to recreate it every time. Let's play just a little bit.
Listen to the words I never say.
We'll solo it out. So first and foremost, maybe there's a different snare sound that I would want to go with. We can experiment. There are so many in here. You can see I can just swipe down and you'll see all the different snares. By selecting the snare and then choosing the one I want something a little bit more, a little higher up, a little bit higher timbre to it. And then I'm going to just tune it down a little bit. I want to change out that hi-hat too, something maybe a little less polished. I don't know about the roots, maybe. Sounds like it's in a different room. We're going to go back up to the Blue Ridge. And let's hear maybe some of the toms. We're going to leave it on SoCal for that. Cymbals. We'll do the smash. Now, so I've rebuilt that. I can continue to do that, changing the different levels, different parts of the sound, tuning things down just ever so slightly, the gain structure, all of that. And then when I'm done, I just need to come up here and do a save as. And then I can do it the name of the song if I want to, or I could do it like the name of a fictional drummer, or I can just save it as one of like my name, kit number 1. Doesn't matter, but it's nice to be able to have the recallability once you customize it. So then in any song, I could come down and you can see the app presets, but then you also have my presets above that. That's super handy. Number 2 is to do the same thing, but with our channel strip, because that's just the drum kit. If I want to do this with the actual effects that I've got going on, this was the default EQ, which I think is always interesting when they put all these like little notches in various places. But I have changed the chroma glow. I'm driving it a lot harder. I think it works for that song. And then putting a limiter on it. The gain structure of this song is a little bit lopsided, and I think that it's compensating for that. I need to actually probably go through and restructure the whole song, but it doesn't matter. I can come down here and do a save channel strip setting as, and we'll just do, let's see, drums channel. then I can just like pull that up anytime I want in any song, and it has the effects as well as the actual instrument. So that's number 2. Number 3 involves going into the actual session regions, the session player region. And once we make our changes here, say that we are coming through and say, you know what, I want this to push in this section. And when I get to the chorus, do something different, change the dynamics. We could change the patterning of it. Right now it's following the lead vocal. Great. Once we have this to a place, we're going to go into our preset menu and say save. And then I'm going to do this one as the same naming convention inside the sun. And maybe this is like verse. So now I can actually say at any point I want to take this patterning and the performance that I've got going on and pull it onto a different place of the song. And we can do that now. So you're starting to make a catalog of all the things you've done that work well for you. Great. The next thing, this would be number 4. We're going to option click this drummer track down into another one. So you'll see we have 2 of them. So I'm going to make sure this is selected. I'm going to come over into my library and we're going to go down to drum kit. And at the very bottom, we have multi-channel kits. And at the near the bottom to that, we have one called unmixed. And this takes us into these multi-channel kits. They used to be called producer kits, but it's a breakdown. It has all of the microphones used when creating this instrument. Let's just play it a little bit. Overheads, kick in, kick out, snare top, all the way down to room A, room B, leak microphone, and then auxiliary. Now, if I come through and click on the first of these subtracks in our stack, I can open up this kit, and there's some additional options now. We have the leak, overheads, and room A and B for each of these options. And so we can do this. We can actually create a different mix using those. And save this as well as an actual producer multi-channel kit. But we can mix this now. So this is like a raw, unpresetted instrument. And you can come through and use all the techniques you know about mixing drums, different EQs on the instruments. You'll see that it's a blank slate here. And you can come through and create the exact drum sound that you want from it. So the multi-channel kit, this one that's unmixed, I think is just a great option for it. And when you come in here to the actual drum kit designer track, we can actually go through and choose any of them as the source kit. They're still going to be unmixed, but we can now change between those parts or still customize each of the individual drum pieces as well. So that's another way to be able to customize what you're doing here. We're going to close all of this down for a second, mute it, and unmute the original one here, because the last thing I'll say is once you have the drum kit essentially how you want it, I recommend always just duplicating that with the option key, because then you can leave the original untouched. But it doesn't hurt you at this point if you want to come through, convert all of this to MIDI regions, and then you can come in and change even more about the performance. You can add fills, you can change velocity, you can do a lot of the stuff in here to actually customize that sound how you want. I don't usually go to MIDI just because at any given point I might want to change the patterning that we have, but this is one of those options you have to really fine-tune the performance and get it how you want it without having to worry about the drummer region itself. And it's essentially the same performance. Okay, I hope these things help. So we looked at saving the drums, saving your channel strip. We looked at using the multi-channel kits. We looked at saving your session instrument patterns, and we looked at converting to MIDI. These are all things that you can use to really customize and get that how you want it and make it more individual. And by that, I mean, once you come up with a sound that you like, the effects that you want to use on the drums, and the exact drum pieces you want, and then the performances you want with the patterns, then you can pull them up at any point in any of your projects and have that continuity across them. I hope this was useful. If you're looking for more drummer tips, let me know, and we'll do more of those. Talk to you later.